Good evening, friends. Tonight we're going to Netflix and chill as I take you through my Netflix queue, all the different shows that are in my list, the shows that I'm currently watching, the shows that are in my list that I will probably never watch, and some of the shows that I've watched previously. So I've turned the volume off. I've basically put the television on mute so we don't have to worry about the various autoplay trailers for all of the different shows. So we'll just go ahead and see what we have. So I'm going to start with continue watching because that's the stuff that I'm actually actively watching right now, even if I never actually put it in my list. So right now I'm watching the originals, and I'm in the middle of season 5. I think there's only, let's see, how many episodes this season? I think it's 13. So it's 13 episodes. Normally I watch the originals on network TV, but once I moved out to Lake Powell at the beginning of this year, I was not able to catch the current season because I don't have cable TV here. So I was just waiting for the originals to get loaded to Netflix, and then I was on Hulu for a while, and I had my Netflix account canceled. So I just recently restarted my Netflix subscription, and the originals is the show I'm watching right now. I'm also in the middle of season 5 of Arrested Development. Before I started watching season 5, I watched the season 4 recut episodes. I actually thought the original season 4 was pretty decent. I mean, naturally it wasn't as good as seasons 1 through 3, but I thought it was pretty decent, and I don't know if I thought the recut was actually better or not. My main issue with the recap is there is just so much recapping, or my main issue with the recut is there's just so much recapping at the beginning of every single episode that I thought was a bit unnecessary, because obviously people were just going to binge those episodes. I'm still in the middle of it. I'm on episode 8 right now. And let's see, I think, how many episodes do we have left? Oh, that's the last one. So I'm nearly done with this. And honestly, I'm really not that impressed with season 5 at all. I just kind of wish they hadn't bothered. It's not very good. The only saving grace for me for season 5 is Maybe. I just think her old lady role is hilarious. But Maybe's always been one of my favorite characters on this show anyway. Let's see, next up, and actually, like right now, Arrested Development is kind of what I watch when I'm home for lunch, because it's 25 minutes long, so I can fix something to eat and then sit down and watch an episode before I go back to work. Let's see, Designated Survivor. I had started watching this. I'm on season 1, episode 18. So I'm almost done with season 1. I've heard season 2 isn't that great, and honestly, like, season 1 isn't really great either. But it was just something to watch, and I've kind of abandoned it to go back and binge the originals. But I think as soon as I'm finished with the originals, I'll get back into Designated Survivor and finish watching season 1 at any rate. And then I'll probably just go ahead and watch season 2 as well, since why not? It's on Netflix, might as well watch it. My understanding is that this show's canceled now, so hopefully season 2 doesn't end on a cliffhanger. If it does, feel free to let me know in the comments. I don't care about spoilers for this show at all. However, if you do watch the originals, I would appreciate no spoilers on that. Also, just speaking of the originals, I'm really disappointed that season 5 is actually the last season. I think this show's pretty strong. I love the main characters, especially Klaus and Elijah. And Vincent actually is one of my favorite characters as well. So it's disappointing that they decided to cancel it, and I can already tell that they're obviously spinning off the Klaus's daughter character onto a new show. It's just extremely obvious even before they announced it. So I had also been watching. I had watched Vampire Diaries for a long time, and I essentially stopped watching that a couple of seasons ago, and I just got bored with the storylines and everything, so I gave up on the show. Especially, I think it was like after Elena left, her character was buried in a box or whatever they did to her, and I never went back to it. Maybe someday I will, but it's not. It's not even in my list on Netflix. I'm assuming it's available, but I haven't really watched it. The Good Cop. I happened to notice that what's his name? Josh, is it Josh Groban? Whatever his name is, that singer. I think he's usually pretty funny on like Saturday Night Live and things like that. So I thought I would give this show a chance, and I gave up in like the first 15 minutes because while I think Josh Groban is entertaining, Tony Danza really is annoying. So I am eventually going to log into Netflix on my computer and remove the watch history for this show because I'm not going to go back to it. And I don't understand like why you can't remove shows from and like why you can't remove shows from the apps. Okay, I didn't even know they still had ratings on Netflix. I wonder if they even make a difference. Spectral is a Netflix movie starring James Badgedale, who I really like. He was in, let's see, he was in The Pacific, but I've never actually watched The Pacific. He was in this show called I think it was called, oh, it wasn't Rendition. This is gonna drive me crazy. I he was in this show. It was kind of like about espionage and spies and stuff, and it was a very slow burning show on network television that I really liked, and I just like him as an actor. And I actually like I have to go back and start this from the beginning because when I was looking at my Netflix queue the other day, I saw that this was actually in there as completed, but I started going through it and I'm like, I don't remember actually watching the whole thing. So I'm going to probably go back at some point and watch that from the beginning because if I watched it, maybe it's just so forgettable that I've just completely forgotten about it. Code. The Code. I don't know what this is. Restoring a damaged cell phone video, Ned and Jesse trace a deadly car crash to powerful biotech firm Fizanto, which begins to harass the brothers. I started watching it and immediately lost interest. If you have watched it and you think it's worth sticking with, let me know. Hold the Dark is I don't know, I guess it's not really a horror, maybe a psychological thriller or something like that. Ooh, that's a naked lady. We're going to go out of there. Okay. Hold the Dark. I started watching it and then I was like, I don't know if I'm into this. But then I was talking to my brother on the phone the other night and he mentioned it and he said it was really good. So once I'm done binging the originals, which will most likely be this weekend, I'll probably go back to Hold the Dark to finish watching it. Alright, so that's everything that's in continue watching. And let's see. We'll look at my list. So Gotham, I put Gotham in my list because I had watched the first couple of seasons on it just on network TV, and then with all my running around and traveling all the time and moving to places to work in the middle of nowhere, I just wasn't able to stay caught up with it. So at this point, I would probably go back and maybe start watching from, let's see. I think I watched all of season 1 and season 2. So maybe I'd start at season 3. I don't know. I'll have to figure out where I actually left off. I don't know. I suppose it's the kind of show you could probably maybe jump in anywhere. Let's see. Malevolent. What is... Oh, this movie... I put this in my list because the trailer I thought looked pretty interesting. It says the Sayers Medium Service promises to drive evil spirits out of your home, but it's all an elaborate scam until it isn't. So, a brother-sister team who fake paranormal encounters for cash get more than they bargained for when a job at a haunted estate turns very, very real. I don't know, I thought it looked interesting, and it's just a movie. So, I will watch that at some point. Let's see. Somewhere between. I put this in my list a couple of days ago because it's a time travel show. I haven't watched anything else on it. There's no trailer. I just saw the words time travel and added it to my list. Devon Sawa is in it. In Devon Sawa is the guy who played Eminem's character, or actually he played Stan in the video for Stan. And then let's see, J.R. Bourne was in the Teen Werewolf show, which I think the name of that show is actually Teen Werewolf, right? Anyway, Quantico. Oh, J.R. Bourne was also in Stargate SG-1. He played, I think it was Martouf. He played Martouf in Stargate SG-1. So, Quantico, I watched one complete episode of Quantico. I don't know if I'll watch any more of it. We'll see. Maybe if I get really bored, I'll watch some of it. The Innocents. I added this to my list because Guy Pearce is in it. And I don't even know what it's about, really. What is it? Runaway teen lovers June and Harry find themselves swept up in a dangerous and confusing new world when June begins to display mysterious abilities. So it's not a Marvel show, right? You'll have to let me know in the comments if it's even worth watching. Santa Clarita Diet, I am eagerly awaiting season 3. You know, this is one of those shows, when it first came out, I was like, I don't want to watch this. I hate zombies. I'm like, there's way too much zombie stuff everywhere. I much prefer vampires. And so I didn't watch this show at first, even though I absolutely love Timothy Olyphant. I watched him in Deadwood, and I watched him in Justified, and I just love him. And I really love Drew Barrymore too, but still I was like, this is a show about zombies, I'm not watching it. And then I guess at some point I was so bored, and I didn't know what the hell to watch. And so I did watch it. And how long are these episodes? So these are like, I think they're like half-hour episodes, right? So it was kind of the perfect, I don't feel like committing to something for an entire hour type show. Anyway, I binged the hell out of season 1 and season 2. I really love this show. It's very funny. And all of the actors are great in it, including the girl who plays the daughter. And I think the boy that you see on that image there, I think that's the next door neighbor. son, next door neighbor kid. He's pretty. The whole cast is great. Okay, so next we have Secret City, which I added this simply because Anna Torv is in it. I just added it recently. I never even heard of the show until I just started going through Netflix looking for stuff to add to my list. I don't know if it's any good. I don't really know anything about it, but I absolutely loved Fringe, and I love Anna Torv's character in Fringe, and I hope I will enjoy this show too. Hemlock Grove. Let's see. I think, I was almost done with this show. I binged the hell out of season 1 and season 2, and then I just gave up in the middle of season 3 for some reason. If I remember correctly, it's been so long since I watched this. If I remember correctly, it's a werewolf show. I think pretty much everybody's a werewolf. I don't know, I can't remember. I don't even have that many episodes left. Let's see. I don't know. It's one of these shows that haunts me in my queue because I know that I only have so many episodes left and then the show is done with. And yet, I just can't bring myself to have the interest enough to watch the rest of the episodes, but at the same time, I don't take it out of my list. So, that's kind of stupid. But there it is. Crossing Lines was a 2015 series, which now that I'm looking at it, I'm very surprised to see made it to 3 seasons. I remember watching... I don't think I watched the entire first season when it originally aired, but I had started to watch it, and it was terrible. But William Fichtner is in it, and I really like him. And so I stuck it in my list when I saw it on Netflix. And I can't believe it made it 3 seasons, but maybe the show got better. If you've ever watched this, let me know if it ever actually got better. And maybe I'll actually watch it someday, although it's probably unlikely. It's been in my list for quite some time now. Okay, Between. What the hell is Between about? The adults in Pretty Lake die. Those under age 22 live, but no one can leave town. Now what do you do? I don't. Did I watch the entire first season? Wow. Okay, I guess I did. Oh, there's only 6 episodes. Well, this show's completely forgettable because I don't recollect any of it. Okay. Oh, well, thank God for the previously on Between. Alright, well, I'll consider it. Aquarius, I added it because I happen to like shows set in the 60s and 70s. And, of course, I like, oh God, I can't believe I just spaced his name. David Duchovny. Unfortunately, I can't really, this show is not really that great. So I'll probably never finish it. But it's still sitting in my list, mocking me. 3% is, I believe it's it's a Brazilian show. Yeah, it says it right there. It's a Brazilian dystopian show. With the world in ruins, a gleaming offshore haven offers the only escape for the 3% who can prove they're worthy. Basically, all these young people have to go through this series of tests, and as they basically get eliminated, and then I think whoever survives gets to go to this wonderful haven full of rich people. And it's actually pretty good, but I think I made a mistake because sometimes I don't want to really pay that close attention to like, I'm usually like a lot of times multitasking while watching Netflix, so I started watching this show. Instead of the subtitles, I used the dubbed, the dubbing, and the dubbing is kind of dreadful. So I'm on episode 6 right now of the season 1. I think I'm season 1, right? Yeah, season 1. And let's see. So yeah, I don't know why I stopped there, because I only had another 2 episodes to go for season 1 after this. And then there's season 2, which I could decide at the end of season 1 whether I want to continue with it or not. So it's another show mocking me. I have way too much stuff in my Netflix queue that I will either never finish watching or never start watching in the first place. Cloud Atlas, I just added recently, is one of those movies that came out that looked interesting, but not interesting enough for me to actually go to the movie theater and watch it. I don't know. I think the reviews on this movie were super mixed to terrible, right? Between terrible and mixed. I don't know. I'll probably watch it at some point. It's a movie, but oh my god, it's almost 3 hours. 2 hours and 51 minutes. That's ridiculous. Jericho is in here because I'm going to watch it. Oh, no. No, I'm not. I'm not going to watch that. Why did I put Jericho on my list? That doesn't need to be in there. I've already seen it. I'm going to remove that from my list. I was thinking of Jeremiah, which I think is on Netflix as well. If it's not, I know it's either on Hulu or Amazon Prime. Jeremiah is a post-apocalyptic show. And I've already seen it, but it's been a long time and I feel like binge watching it again. So I'll get to that sometime, probably over the winter, whatever one of these streaming things it's on. Let's see, Alias Grace I added because Paul Gross is in it. And Paul Gross starred in a series called Due South about a Canadian Mountie living in Chicago. And he was also in this amazing series called Slings and Arrows. Both Canadian series, so I'm assuming this is a Canadian show as well. I'll give it a shot. I think it's just 1 season. I haven't even really followed up on, like, paid attention to what it's about or not. It might not even really be my thing. However, I strongly recommend, if you like good television, watch Slings and Arrows. It's available on YouTube for free from the Canadian Broadcasting Company. It's very clever. Lots of Shakespeare-type references. The whole thing's basically set in a theater company. Very funny show, too. Cloverfield Paradox. So, the original Cloverfield I hated. 10 Cloverfield Lane, I thought was interesting. And so I'll give the Cloverfield Paradox a shot. The Crown is just in here because everybody says it's great. I may watch it someday. Wanted. What do a tough-talking cashier and an uptight accountant have in common? A will to survive, no matter what it takes. I don't know. We'll see. You know, I think it's funny is that I'm pretty sure that font for Wanted in the little theater card there is like the same font that they use in the movie Wanted. The Gift. Let's see. I just watched another movie by Joel Edgerton, and I've literally forgotten the name of it. But I do like Jason Bateman quite a bit, so I will watch this at some point, I'm sure. The Messengers. 5 strangers brought back from the dead. A world on the edge of destruction. Let the battle for humanity begin. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't watched any of it yet. Bleach. I don't know. The trailer looked interesting to me. It's I think it's Korean. No, actually, I think it's Japanese. I'll watch it when I feel like actually reading subtitles, which is not going to be anytime soon. So I'll probably never watch it. Slow West, dramatic winner of Sundance Institute's World Cinema Jury Prize at the Sundance Film Festival. It stars Michael Fassbender, who is one of my favorite actors. Medici, Masters of Florence. Well, I like most of the cast in this, I think. I don't know. Could be entertaining. Helix, I had actually seen the majority of Helix when it was airing. I think it was on the Sci-Fi Channel, right? And I really enjoyed it. And because I probably moved someplace, I wasn't able to finish watching the entire thing. So I may just go back and start from the beginning. Oceans Rising. I have no idea why this is in my list. I have no idea. The Bad Batch. I don't know why this is in my list either. Oh, yes, I do. Keanu Reeves and Jim Carrey let their freak flags fly in this offbeat bend of Mad Max and Pretty in Pink. That sounds really terrible. But I will give it a shot because it's kind of like post-apocalyptic type thing. Legends of Tomorrow. I am in the middle of season 2 and I abandoned it for a while. I'll get back to it eventually. The Lake House with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. I love this movie. And I don't know, I guess you wouldn't necessarily call it a time travel movie, but it's kind of close to a time travel movie. I don't know. I like that movie. Beauty and the Beast, the live action one. I was just interested in seeing the live action one. I'll probably watch it at some point. I like crime shows. You can see what kind of shows I like. Crime shows. I like science fiction-y type shows. I don't know if I'll like River, but it's on my list for now. The Truman Show, one of my absolute favorite movies of all time. So it's just, and honestly, like, I may even have the DVD here with me. I'll have to go and look. But if I don't, I can always watch it on Netflix. Dallas Buyers Club, Oscar-winning movie, or performances anyway. And it's supposed to be really great, and I just never got around to seeing it. And so, it's on my list. 24 Hours to Live. Actually, I've already watched this movie. We'll remove it from my list. So Ethan Hawke, I happen to really like him. This movie, though, was very mediocre. Let's see, Orbiter 9. Science fiction. It's in here because it's science fiction, although I think it has subtitles, so Q. I'll probably never watch it. This doesn't belong in here either. I started watching this and I can't get into it. I'm going to remove that from my list. Paradox. Ooh, time travel. I think I've already watched this. Oh. Maybe I haven't. When a scientist from a team working on a time travel project manages to leap 1 hour ahead, he returns with some shocking news. I think I've actually already watched this, and it was probably like pretty bad or mediocre, but it's time travel, and I will just pretty much watch any time travel. I don't know. I'm not sure if I watched that or not. I might have. 2307 Winter's Dream. Dystopian, post-apocalyptic stuff. My favorite type of garbage. I don't know if that's any good. I haven't started watching that at all. Scream. I don't know. I don't think I need this in my list. I really don't. I'm never gonna watch it. The Call Up. I feel like I might have watched this already too. I don't know. There's so much stuff on here that like you sit there and watch it, and then you immediately, as soon as it's done, you've forgotten everything about it. Kodachrome. This is in my list because Ed Harris is in it. I may eventually watch it. Before we go, Chris Evans, Captain America. I love you, Captain America. I probably still, though, will never watch this movie. I should call this my list of things I will never watch. The Pinkertons. I don't know, I like this kind of period genre type stuff. I've not started watching it. High Rise. Set in the 70s. Again, one of my favorite eras, one of my favorite actors, Tom Hiddleston. I think I started watching it at some point and I was like, oh, I'll watch it another time. Southpaw is in here because of Jake Gyllenhaal. Eventually, I may actually watch that one. When Calls the Heart. I have no idea why this is in my list. Some evil person probably put this in my list. Let's see. Sword Art Online. Oh, what's this? Oh, yeah. Death Comes to Pemberley. Another kind of period crime type stuff. Let's see. Sword Art Online is anime. And I watched the first 4 episodes, and it's like, I don't know if you guys read Lit RPG or Game Lit or whatever they're calling it nowadays, but it's basically a bunch of players are trapped inside of a game. So it's entertaining. I get at least entertaining enough for me to watch the first 4 episodes. I may eventually watch more of it. The Salvation. I have no idea why this is on my list. Western type stuff. Disney. Hyena Road. Oh, Paul Gross is in that too. And he directed it. Okay, Gridlocked. Oh. I'm surprised I haven't watched this yet. Dominic Purcell, action-adventure movie. I am a huge fan of Prison Break. I will watch anything with Dominic Purcell and Wentworth Miller in it. Trespass. Our Lord God, Nicolas Cage is in this. I will eventually watch it. Papa Hemingway in Cuba. Maybe. Minimalism, a documentary, maybe. The originals, I actually had it in my list, and I'm currently watching it, as we've already talked about. Miss Julie. Isn't this like a remake of, like, Okay, no. I was thinking it was like a remake of a Hitchcock movie. I don't know. I feel like it's a remake of something. Cats and dogs. I don't know. Looks cute. Kids movie. Leroy and Stitch. I love Stitch. He's my favorite Disney character. I love vampires, although probably not enough to watch this show. Yeah, probably not enough to watch that show. Is it like a, I don't know, teen Disney type thing? Lilo and Stitch 2. They're forgotten. Oh, that's a film. I was thinking that was a series. Hate Ship, Love Ship is a movie. We'll see if I ever actually watch this. Guy Pearce is in it. Jennifer Jason Leigh, I really like her, but I'm honestly not really a super fan of Kristen Wiig. Another Stitch movie. 9 is... Yeah, 9 is a time travel show. That's why it's in my list. Yellowstone. I probably put this in my list for my dad. Okay, so let's go down. We'll just flip through and I'll find some other stuff I've watched. So, Good Place. Actually, I think I watched... It says Play Season 1, Episode 1, but I think I actually watched some of the show. Maybe it's on one of the other streaming networks, or maybe I just watched it on television, but I definitely watched several of those episodes already, and I did like it, so I'll probably watch some more of that. No. No, 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 no. Walking Dead for me. I hate zombies. Netflix Travelers. I love this show. This is really good. I've binged both seasons. So basically, it's a time travel show where these characters from the future travel into the past and take over these people's bodies. Like, they're basically, their mind is the part of them that's time traveling. And it's a really good show. You should watch it if you haven't already. If you like time travel and cool science fiction-y shit. I know this movie got terrible reviews, but now it's on Netflix and I can watch it for free. Oh, Elite. It looked like it might be interesting. I don't know. When 3 working-class teens enroll in an exclusive private school in Spain, the clash between them and the wealthy students leads to murder. Well, that means it has subtitles, so I don't know. I may or may not watch it. There's another Nicolas Cage movie. Well, I will add it to my list. Iron Fist. I watched most of the first season and then just gave up on it. I can't stand this actor. It's just everything about this show I thought was terrible. And my understanding is it is apparently improved dramatically for season 2, but they canceled it, so I'm not even gonna bother. And honestly, of all of the Marvel shows that are on Netflix, the only one I actually enjoy is Daredevil. I could not get into any of the other shows at all. They just didn't really catch my interest enough. I did watch The Invaders, and I actually watched the entire first season, and I regretted that I did. I just wish I could get my life back for all those hours I watched that show. Blacklist. I actually watched the first season of this when it was airing on network TV, and I may go back and start watching that again. Let's see. What else is popular on Netflix? Wow, we're at like 40 minutes right now. How it ends. This kind of seems like post-apocalyptic-y type thing, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to add this to my list. When a mysterious disaster turns the country into a war zone, a young lawyer heads west with his future father-in-law to find his pregnant fiancée. Okay, that may be the next thing I watch. Black Panther, I saw that in the movie theater. I want to watch that again. Alright, what else we got on here? Trending. Oh, Ozark. Actually, just finished watching this. I really enjoyed both seasons of this show. I thought it was really good. I don't know. It's probably just my internet, but like all these title cards take forever to load. And then like the description takes forever to load. Okay, so we'll talk about one more show. The 100. It's not my list right now because I've already binged the entire 5 seasons. Or actually, I didn't. I watched like the first 4 seasons on network, on the CW, I guess. And then I had to watch all of season 5 on Netflix, which I did, and I absolutely love this show. If you've never watched this, the first couple of episodes of season 1 are kind of terrible, but then it just gets so much better, and pretty much every season just gets better. And Daredevil, of course, I absolutely love Daredevil. Although, well, actually, let me qualify that. I absolutely loved Daredevil season 1. I did not care for season 2 that much. I don't like the Punisher. I cannot stand the actor who plays the Punisher. And so I really was not nearly as enjoyable as season 1 for me. But I can't wait until tomorrow, which will probably have already happened once I upload this. But so by the time that you see this video, I will probably have already binged the entire 3rd season of Daredevil. Zoo is actually a very entertaining guilty pleasure, very popcorn show. I've watched all 3 seasons. Very entertaining, in my opinion. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I watched all of this, and it's very, very funny. I just watched The Last Jedi again recently. I liked it. The best parts of the movie are with like Kylo Ren and Rey. There's definitely some ridiculous stuff in this movie, but overall I thought it was pretty decent. Ascension, science fiction show, which I think I watched originally when it aired. It's not very good, unfortunately. Disney Moana. This is actually a really good movie. I watched this twice. And the less said about the Defenders, the better. Mindhunter. Mindhunter's really good. It took me an episode or 2 to really get into it, but yeah, it's actually quite excellent.